What up, Long Beach? Welcome back to your home for local sports. It's Tyler, and this Moore League track video is brought to you by Naples Rib Company, the perfect place to cater your team's next event. No rain in the forecast, thankfully, here at Vets for the Moore League track finals. Plenty of clouds over Vets, but no reason we can't go fast. We start out the day with the girls 4x1. Of course, Long Beach Poly, known for this race, one of the fastest in the nation once again. They're in the middle of the track in the green. Kanila Miles getting things going. A lot of new faces this year for Poly on this relay. Handoff to Janae Smith. Oh, bit of a hiccup there. More on that after this race is over. Smith, the long jumper who's on the sprints this year, hands off to the seasoned vet of this group, Maya Perkins, and by this point, Poly's starting to leave everyone in the rearview mirror. Once again, there's an Ariana on the anchor, but it's Augustine, no Washington, and there's nobody around Ariana Augustine, the freshman who's just going to put the field away. I pan back to try to find the next team, but Poly is cruising. Now, we thought they might be DQ'd originally. Let's go back to this first pass. We slow it down. The baton looks like it gets passed just on that yellow triangle, so it was deemed to be legal. Poly does move on with a 46.87. Big sigh of relief from the Jackrabbits. Now to the boys 4x1. Wilson looking to assert themselves as the top relay school in the 100 and 400 today. Jacoby Hardy with the leadoff, passes to Marie Harris, former Jackrabbit, a 400-meter specialist, but he's doing a lot for the Bruins nowadays. He's going to hand it off to leg 3, running back Josh Kilson. And finally, as Kilson's going to pull away for the long touchdown, he will hand it off to Chris Hall, the anchor leg. And sort of looking like the Poly girls, Wilson's going to blow away the field here in the 4x1. So emphatic victories to start off the day with the relays. That group wins it with a time of 42.63. Now a little more distance. The girls 1600. Jackrabbits with a lead pack. Brenda Rosales on the left, Melissa Tanaka on the right. And if you've watched our cross-country videos, you know all about Melissa Tanaka. She's going to eventually pull away from Rosales, her teammate, and go on to win this one pretty comfortably. Poly is going to sweep the top 3 on the podium. Tanaka 5:11.34. You'll see more from her later. Now to the boys' side of the mile run. Top qualifier Anthony Palazzo out in front, a big group of Jackrabbits. No surprise in these distance races. Palazzo a comfortable lead up until the last lap when Hugo Novoa is going to come from behind to get him. Poly sweeps the top 3 in this race as well, continuing to do well in the distance. Now to the girls' 100 hurdles, add some obstacles to the track. Charisse Pell from Milliken there in the middle of the track, and she's going to take this one with the lean at the wire. More from her later on in the day, 15:17, her winning time. Boys 110 hurdles. We had some scratches from this event, as you can see. Poly is going to get the top 2 spots in this one. Anthony Johnson is going to hold off teammate Levante James. A pretty close race from the Jackrabbits. A good showing in their hurdle event. Now to the girls 400. We would have seen one of the best in the nation in this event, Poly's Kaylin Roberts, the sophomore. But instead, she's out with injury, so freshmen have a chance to shine. The top 3 finishers, all 9th graders. Milliken's Kiera Mack there in the middle, holds off Skylar Whitesue from Wilson and teammate Nadira Wilson. Kind of a close finish, but Mack, a very good close, the final 50 meters, as she wins it just under a minute. We go to the boys 400, a well-known name in a new jersey, Marie Harris, in that Wilson maroon and gold. He's obviously the favorite in this race. And he gets out to a very good start. He's going to eat up teammates, opponents alike coming around that first curve. Harris starting to pull away, and easy does it. Wasn't really worried too much about time, just wanted to handle his business and do what he needed to get to CIF, and he does. 48-47, the win for Harris. More from him later in the meet as well. Back to the Poly relay team. Tons of Jackrabbits in the girls 100. We've seen this event dominated by Ariana Washington, but now a new Jackrabbit will shine. Close race across the top. but just edging Augustine will be Maya Perkins. With the win, the junior is able to take it home for Poly, as you see the top three finishers all pretty close to one another. Now to the boys' 100, a chance for Cabrillo to get to the top of the podium. Charles Berry in the middle in black. Yes, Chuck Berry is going to win this race. He didn't roll over Beethoven. He's going to run Rudolph right to a win, as it's a 10:93 final time. Now over to the girls 800, Tanaka again, as promised. She made sure to grab the lead at the halfway point after the first lap, and there was no looking back. She went ahead, and she had plenty of friendly faces in the rearview mirror. Poly took the top 6 in this race, led by Tanaka's strong showing, followed by teammates Rosales, Scott, Rose, Taylor, and Russell finishing behind her, so green and gold dominating that race. Now to the boys 800, as you notice the uncharacteristically inclement weather here in Long Beach, Copeland Laris from Wilson and Jaleel Norwood of Lakewood kind of make this a two-horse race from the early going. It looked like Norwood had a chance to come from behind and eat him right here on the last stretch, but Laris did have enough in the tank to hold on for the victory. As he crosses the finish line, even goes ahead and silences the crowd, says, "You ain't catching me." Those two show love at the end of the race. A pretty exciting finish there in the 800. Now we put more stuff back on the track. The girls 300 hurdles. No Ebony Creer or Kimber Payne in this race anymore, but Pell looking for the hurdle sweep. You remember she won it for Milliken in the 100 earlier. She's off to a good start, gets ahead of the pack, and has a fairly clean finish going over this final stretch. Always a grueling part of the race in the 300 hurdles where everyone is out of gas, just trying to make it to the finish line. But Pell does a good job holding off the competition, and she takes the double in the hurdles, 46:31 her time here. To the boys 300, a sloppy race. Poly's Levante James out in front. He was second in the 110 hurdles, so an opportunity to come in and win it in the 300, and he will hold off Jordan Else from Jordan, where else, in a pretty close 300 race. Now the girls 200, the return of Ariana Augustine and Maya Perkins for Poly. Augustine, you see there, towers over the rest of the field. She's out well early on. Perkins, a lot of ground to make up to try to catch her, as Perkins is going for the 1-2 double here for Poly. Looks like she's going to get Augustine right here, but the freshman is able to hold her off just at the tape by 0.03 of a second. Augustine able to get the victory there in the 200, so those two split the two sprints. Now to the boys 2, Marie Harris is back for Wilson, the Iowa-bound senior, who is just going to cruise in this one. You can see he's easy to spot with the headband, the high top, and the bleach, all making it work for him as he pulls ahead for the comfortable win in the 200. So wins in the 2 and the 4 for Harris, not to mention the relays. Now to the long distance, the 3200, the lead pack of rabbits emerges from left to right. Fiona O'Leary, Olivia Gleason, and Lauren Filippo. Eventually, on the last lap, someone's got to pull ahead, and it's the freshman O'Leary using that long stride to pull ahead of the two sophomores. A relatively comfy win. The freshman just 20 seconds off the school record in this one, as Gleason and Filippo in that order come in behind her. To the boys 3200, if you were looking for drama, not going to get it from this race. Cody Salter salts away the field pretty early. He just got out to a big lead and never looked back, even lapped a few runners on his way to a near 10-second margin of victory. Coming in second place with a late kick would be Hugo Navoa of Poly, but it's all about Cody Salter from Milliken just doing the damage with the AI sleeves. Now to the final events of the day, the girls 4x4 relay. Danielle Scott, the lead leg for Long Beach Poly, handing off to Augustine in a close race, but we've seen her pull away from the pack in a few other races. She's going to put Poly out in front. Perkins is waiting. Those two, a very busy day on their fourth race of the evening, and just the second time they've run the 4x4 this year. Kiara King, out quick from Wilson, is able to pass Perkins, but the Poly Junior closes well through the pain and gives off to the anchor, Brenda Rosales, who you remember from the distance races earlier. So Poly piecing this team together. Rosales is used to the distance, and Poly's combination of sprinters and milers goes to plan. Jackrabbits win this one pretty comfortably. Harris once again looking to cap off his day, leading off for Wilson in the 4x4. And when he's starting off any race, he's probably going to get out to a good lead, so you'll see he'll make up the stagger pretty quickly, catching up to the competition. His pass goes to Laris. He's the 800 champ for the Bruins. Poly going to be on their heels, however. You can see just how tight the race is at the second pass. This third leg is great from Poly sophomore Zion Bowens. Yet another great Z Bowens at Poly, as he's going to give the Jackrabbits the lead going into the anchor leg. And it's going to be Davion Howard against Wilson's Chris Hall. Hall does a good job to get in front of Howard, takes him on the backstretch, and coming down to the finish line, Hall has enough to hold off for Wilson, but these two teams should be fun to watch the remainder of the season through CIF, Masters, and State, as you see the times there, wrapping up a very entertaining Moore League track meet in 2015. We want to thank our sponsors, Papalucci's, for helping us bring you this video and everything else we do at the Gazettes and the Press Telegram. Still plenty of races left to be run for these Moore League athletes. You want coverage the rest of the way through the CIF State meet, you got to keep it locked right here.